Less than an hour ago, in the parking lot of the shopping mall across from the Greene, can you imagine what it was like to be sitting inside one of those vehicles when rotating winds suddenly picked them up off the ground?
At least 4 cars are flipped over in that Kmart parking lot. At least 1 woman seriously injured during a severe late afternoon storm. Elise Coulter and Chris Mulcahy are both there live now, and they've seen it all. What can you tell us, Elise?
Jack and Deborah, I want to take you to the scene and show you what's going on behind me. This is a very large, active scene. Like you said, several vehicles were hit. Now, witnesses I spoke to, a lot of people still in shock and disbelief over what they witnessed. One man told me, he said he was at the red light here right outside the Greene, saw one of the light poles start to shake, actually saw rotation and saw the vehicles start to move, saw one actually fall from the air. Another vehicle over here in this plaza hit the Saki restaurant and blew out the windows. Again, a very large scene. And I want to take you to Chris Mulcahy, who's out here live with me, so he can talk about what he's seeing and his expertise when it comes to tornadic activity. Chris.
Now, of course, talking to people is very important when you see these certain scenes. You were just looking at that blue truck. Why don't we go to where that blue truck began? Come along with me. You can see the first signs of damage. That pole right there, it's tilted. That's where we first saw the initial energy starting to hit the ground. Over here, you see a little bit of that brick mortar. It's crushed because that blue truck that you were just looking at continued its path to roll through this parking lot. We also, as we continue across the parking lot, you can see that this tree is completely split. The trees that are down are in different directions, which is usually the sign of some rotation. Again, a witness that initially saw that blue truck said that some vehicles were legit rotating about themselves in the parking lot. And then here's the tragic scene. We have people walking by just in awe of what's happening. These cars were flipped over. That black car that you can see, the furthest one away, was actually being driven at the time. The rest of them were stationary. There's a woman named Amber. She crawled out on her own, but now she has been brought to the trauma unit. But of course, we have that blue truck. That blue truck was actually causing a lot of the damage that we saw around here. Initially, it looked like it was a quick burst of energy, maybe from the tornado. But as it's so damaged, as you can see, that's because it was rolling the whole path from the front of that Waffle House, and then eventually it leads to its final destination. Look to the far, far distance, the Fitworks. You can see that the very top of the top of the building is completely ripped off. Beyond that, certain trees are down. So if this was indeed a tornado, you can see the direct path from the beginning of the Waffle House right off of Indian Ripple Road, continue across this parking lot, spinning cars, blowing cars across the parking lot, and then eventually it does look like it starts to lift right over the Fitworks. And that's where we saw many people that were huddling inside. And the biggest thing, the telltale sign when people were working out, one man said it had the classic sound of a small freight train, which is indicative of a tornado. So it definitely does look like that we had a quick little spin up, which is very typical for these storms this type of year, but definitely a dangerous situation. Again, one woman brought to the trauma center. A lot of people shooken up, but this could have been a whole lot worse, especially how densely populated this area is. Elise, this is quite a scene. You didn't expect this.
No, when I actually came here, I didn't expect this at all, but I do want to say we are about to get some official sound from Beavercreek Police. Our crew over there at the other side of this scene is about to find out who all is injured, what all has happened, so we're going to keep you updated. Chris, anything to add to this right now?
The biggest thing is this is typical this time of year for these storms. I know that we always say there's a slight chance of a tornado. This is a telltale sign. It does not matter if it's open fields or an open parking lot. This can happen. So when we're saying that we have that severe thunderstorm watch, all of us were under that. Even though it wasn't under that warning, it can happen just like that, and that's what we're seeing for this scenario today.
All right, thank you, Chris. Hopefully not a lot of people hurt. Hopefully that woman who was taken to the trauma center will be okay. But we're going to find out for you and get an update here in a few minutes, and I'll be back live here in just a few minutes. For now, reporting live in Beavercreek, I'm Elise Coulter with Chris Mulcahy, Fox 45 News.